this last weekend was very much an exercise of self-care, because I asked myself honestly when my birthday was coming up, what do you want? And I'm like, God, I really want to go to Wim Hof training because I haven't, and I really, it's been on my list for a long time. So I found that one in Santa Cruz Mountains because I thought it'd be more adventurous and probably more beautiful. The Wim Hof teacher, his name is Dustin Moon. He has his own website actually, besides the Wim Hof stuff, where he talks about this sort of work. Okay, so here, first thing, I'm dipping my face because this is the other thing I've learned recently. If you dip your face first, it triggers a dive response. It makes it actually easier to get into the ice. Now, part of what I wanted to show here is that I'm not really showing that much distress at all, and I was really proud of that. This shows you how much my training has been effective. And you can see that there's a little work going on here, but it won't be long before you can see that I'm getting more and more relaxed. As you can see here in this video clip, I am practicing breath work while I'm in the ice bath. And as I get more and more relaxed, you will see that I am calm in the face of adversity.
1 minute.
Signs of hypothermia. He is a practitioner taking people in the cold. I wanted to not only.
There you go. Yeah, now I'm pretty chill, right? And this is good. There's a lot of ice in there. It's like probably 39 degrees at least, which is about, what, 4 Celsius, I think, something like that.
90 seconds and
I had someone film me. This is the second round I had, and here I'm, kind of just checking in. I got a lot out of the course, and I liked Dustin's approach a lot. I thought he was personable. He focused on people in a way that was very encouraging. The group was very supportive of each other. It was a very friendly group, and I thought it was nice to see that. And, a lot of these people had never been in ice that cold before, ice water. And it was hard, and they got through the 2 minutes, even though they were struggling. And we were all, cheering for each other and stuff. It was really nice.
3 minutes.
if you're going somewhere like
Good job. Thank you. Good job.
I actually want to share some of the takeaways from it because I think they're really interesting. Okay, so here's some of the main takeaways from and this is a Wim Hof training level 1, right? So, even though I've been doing the training on my own with the app for, almost 3 years, I'd never taken a fundamental basics, and therefore I was like, okay, it's time to do that, because I wasn't so arrogant to think that I knew everything, especially when you don't have anyone to ask directly. You do it, and I did that pretty well, except you don't really know. One of the things he told us early on is that you don't want to do an ice bath on an empty stomach, which I had no idea that was the case. And he told us there was a reason for that. And I was like, oh, all these years I've been doing it first thing in the morning without any food in my stomach. He says it's harder if you do it that way. Then he talked about the breath work, and he explained something that was really interesting, was that if you get excess oxygen in your body through the breath, that through homeostasis, there's a theory, and this has not been proven yet, but it kind of makes sense. So you ultra saturate your system with oxygen more than it needs. So what it does is it actually stores oxygen in other tissues besides the blood. And then when you need it, when you're holding your breath or you're doing, other things, it can retrieve it. And I thought that was really interesting. And again, they don't have any proof of this. This is a theory, but it makes sense. And then the other principle he taught me, and us, I should say the group, was that the idea of Wim Hof's breath practice is to hypersaturate your system with oxygen before you go into a serious challenge. And by doing so, you become more durable and you recover faster. So he has certain exercises like push-ups where you do the 30 breath cycle, and then you hold your breath. You actually take in the breath fully. and hold it, and then you do as many push-ups as you can. And the reason you want to do that is because you have all this oxygen stored in your tissue. You're doing a very high effort move, and the chance of you recovering quicker goes way up because you did that move with saturated oxygen environment. That was really, really interesting. And then when he was explaining how to get into the ice baths, he told, because almost everyone there was a beginner besides me. There was a few people that had done showers, and I don't think anyone else had done ice bath before. He says it's really important to fully commit to the process, because if you leave the ice before your body adapts, the experience will be interpreted as pain and maybe even trauma or a negative overwhelm. And therefore, the next time you try to go do it, your body's going to not want to do it. It's going to rebel. So what he explains is that when you are in the ice, you want to keep doing calming breaths until you feel a shift where your body adapts and becomes more calm. And he says, after you feel that shift, if you want to, get out right away. And that you've actually achieved the goal, which is the mindful attending to yourself. You're not trying to run away from that sensation, like literally not trying to run away. You're supposed to be with that intense sensation of the cold, and then feel that shift where you can tolerate it better. And then you can leave the bath, because now your nervous system feels like it succeeded. It got one of those ta-da wins, which makes total sense. I mean, that seems self-evident sometimes, but I don't think it really is, because the Wim Hof stuff can be a little confusing, because the regular breath cycle is sympathetic activation. But when you're in the ice, you want to use the parasympathetic breath to help you face that adversity without getting too activated. I thought that was really helpful. Then the next piece he taught me was that Wim's teachings are only guidelines. He's never meant his method to become dogmatic. So it's not like you say, if you don't do 4 breath cycles in a row, you're not doing the Wim Hof method. That's not true at all. It's what Wim wants you to do is to connect with yourself in a way where you can shape the practice to your needs and to the results that you're looking for, and even just your own temperament. Because he even said the way in which Wim teaches isn't the way he practices, because he uses it more fluidly and with more nuance, which is fascinating, because that's what I've started to do on my own without any instruction. So that was really cool to see that, and it kind of encouraged me to keep doing that. And then just a few more notes about it. But Dustin said that the method attracts a lot of people who are trying to be competitive, and they want to outdo each other, and they want to beat their own record. And he said that's totally missing the point of the method. What he's explaining is that the point of the method is to become more aware of your state and how to shift it to something more helpful by being super mindful, and not like, it's not about pushing yourself. It's about feeling that shift and being able to find those shifts of consciousness that are positive. So it's not about winning a higher score. That's not, because if you look at that, you look at the Wim Hof method through that lens, you'll actually miss the part that is most beneficial to you. And one of the reasons I'm bringing that up is because I actually did that in my journey at certain points where I started to get super competitive. Oh, I'm going to hold my breath for 5 minutes, which I never did. It was like 3 minutes and 15 seconds, which is still a lot. But I got too obsessed with that as a measure of success, rather than, did I do the practice? Did I feel the shift? Am I feeling better? That was not important. I got to do better. I got to prove myself. I have to be tough, all that stuff. So that's the basic gist of that experience. If you found this content helpful, please like and subscribe.